Hi guys, welcome back to the Tech Chat, where today I'm unboxing and having a first look at the brand new Huawei P9 smartphone. So I must admit, this is actually the first Huawei phone I've ever used, and so far I'm really impressed with it. Here in the UK at least, Huawei still isn't particularly well known, but their phones, including the Mate 8 and the new P9, are pretty popular. But the first thing that strikes me about the P9 is just how premium it looks and feels to hold. At 6.95mm thick and weighing 144 grams, the P9 sits really nicely in your hand. The super thin bezels remind me of the new Sony Xperia XA phone, which I really liked the look of at this year's MWC conference, but while that's a mid-range phone, the P9 is definitely a top-end flagship in terms of specs and price. Although the 5.2-inch display may not have the Quad HD resolution we're used to on phones like the Galaxy S7 and the LG G5 or the HTC 10, it still looks really nice. Now, in terms of the software and the hardware, the P9 runs the latest Android 6 Marshmallow software and uses Huawei's own Emotion UI skin. Huawei also uses their own octa-core Kirin 955 chip alongside either 3 or 4 GB of RAM depending on which model you buy. So that's all pretty good, but one of the P9's main selling points is its dual 12-megapixel cameras. One is a monochrome sensor and the other is an RGB sensor, which work together to produce brighter and more detailed images. But there is some controversy over the Leica branding, as recent reports have suggested that Leica didn't really have much, if any, influence in the actual design or engineering of these cameras. But I'll withhold my judgment until I test it out fully, and I will report back to you guys in the full review about how the camera fares. Elsewhere on the P9 we have a 3000 mAh battery, a fingerprint reader on the back, and a brand new USB Type-C port. But overall, my first impressions of the P9 are really positive. It looks and feels great, the display is lovely, and I'm really excited to see what the camera's like. But it's not cheap though, it costs about £450 or $600 for the entry-level 32GB model, so it's going to have strong competition from the Galaxy S7, the LG G5 and the HTC 10. But do stay tuned and subscribe to the Tech Chat for my full upcoming review of the Huawei P9, and also let me know in the comments below whether you consider buying a Huawei phone and what you make of the P9 so far. Thank you very much for watching guys, please do like, share and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I'll see you again right here on the Tech Chat.